Hello everybody and welcome to another video, and today I'm going to be looking at a band called BroJob. Now, I'd never heard of this band before, so I had to do a little bit of research, but I actually didn't really find much at all. The only things I found was that they are an American hardcore deathcore band who have taken the hypermasculinity of deathcore and turned it on its head, giving it a homoerotic spin, making rather homosexual based songs, apparently. This is what I read. I can honestly say that is pretty much all I managed to glean, because when I read the article it didn't really talk much about the band at all. I couldn't find anything about the actual band themselves. All it did was talk about the type of music that they make. So I can't really tell you anything about the band. I can't tell you exactly where they're from. I can't tell you who they are. So yeah, I'm kind of at a loss for that. Anyway, the track that was suggested to me is a track called Talk Shit, Get Kissed. And from what I understand, they're not a band that wants to be taken seriously. They're sort of... It's almost like a parody band. They're doing this for a laugh. You know, they're not... It's not like a super serious sort of thing. So, from what I understand, these songs are supposed to be fairly funny. Yeah, given what little information I have, I think we'll get to it. I do actually have lyrics, but from what I understand, the video I've got is also a lyric video, so you can laugh along with me. So let's just have a look at this, shall we? BroJob, Talk Shit, Get Kissed. Here we go. I'm going to pause this there for a second because I've got to talk about this. What the fuck am I watching? What the hell am I listening to? This is ridiculous. It's funny. It's brilliant. Like I said, they're not a band that want to be, you know, they're not being taken seriously. They are a silly band. And, you know, in a way I can see their point, you know, the hypermasculinity of deathcore, you know, it's all, well, most deathcore is like these people jumping around in sort of like shorts with no shirts on, veins bulging out of their necks and shit like that. And you know, it's all sort of very manly apparently, but they're just taking it and putting a spin on it and making it silly. Because I mean, I'm not saying that homosexuality is silly. I fully support people who are like that. Like, you know, I have some very close friends that are of that persuasion. But the way they're presenting it is silly. I think I can honestly say there's not really much of a meaning behind the song. It seems to be sort of like him saying, you know, there's people coming up to him, you know, trying to be all like, making themselves like bigging themselves up, making him, you know, I'm hard, and he's like, yeah, you might be hard, but I will literally fuck you. End of, you know. You can try and be all big and macho at me as you want, but I will bend you over and I will chuck it up you, basically. And I mean, the lyrics themselves are absolutely absurd. I mean, the first line of the entire song: "Show me your dick. You better pull it out quick. Don't make me show you these fists. Don't be a fucking bitch. You're nothing but a fucking coward. You say you think you're tough. You came to spread your message. I came to spread your butt." I mean, what? You like to talk that shit. Yeah, you can choke on it, but it's hard to talk with a mouthful of jizz. I mean, who even uses that word anymore? I should know. Yeah, I really should know. If there's one thing in life I've learned, it's how to take a load. You're just a bitch. You know, so he's basically saying, you know, come at me, bro, but you're going to come off worse. You're not going to be able to walk by the time I've finished with you. You know, I've had to deal with stuff all my life. I can deal with it. You can't deal with what I'm going to do to you. So it's strange. It's quite amusing. And it's very, very heavy. Let's carry on. Well, that was that. That was Talk Shit, Get Kissed by BroJob. And that has to be one of the most absurd things I have ever heard. I mean, it was quite enjoyable, it was funny as hell, but it was just damn right bizarre. But you know, I've come across my fair share of strange music. There's not really much. I don't really need to go into what the lyrics said, but I'm going to anyway. Said, clench fists, brass knuckles, throw your punch deep inside me. That's just messed up. You name the time, I'll name the place. I'll rearrange your face inside my rectum. Now there's a neat trick if you can do it. You bring your crew, I'll bring my crew, an all-out war over who finishes first. There is no turning back. This is a battleground. Bodies hit the floor, soaked in sweat and semen. We'll make you pay for everything. I'll take the pain. Sometimes I tuck in my dick. What the fuck is that even supposed to mean? What's that got to do with anything? And it says, everyone is dead. Everyone is limp. Fuck. I mean, it's just utterly ridiculous. It's funny as hell. And it was really heavy as well. It was brilliant in such an utterly bizarre way. Yeah. I don't know what else to say about it other than it was so utterly ridiculous. One thing I did find out about them when I read that article, though, is when they released, I think it was either an EP or something like that, or I think it might have been a t-shirt or something like that, they were actually donating the proceeds from the sales to the American Suicide Prevention Fund. So, that's a really, really good thing. I think that's an outstanding thing for people to do. It's a great thing for a band to do. How often do you see hip-hop artists doing that sort of thing? I thought that was brilliant. And the song, like I said, funny as hell. Utterly ridiculous, but brilliant. Yes. But I can't think of anything else to say, so I'm just going to leave that as it is. If anybody would like to suggest a track for me to react to, then please do so. By all means, you can drop a comment in the comment section below, message me on my Facebook, my Instagram, or even my Patreon. The links for those are in the description below. But do know, if you suggest a track, it will take me a while to get around to it. Because for every video I record, I get suggested a dozen more, so my list grows faster than I can record them, but I do write down every suggestion, so it will get done eventually. It will just take me a while. Also, Metalhead Reacts is a proud supporter of the Sophie Lancaster Foundation. They are a British-based charity whose main focus is to put an end to hate crimes, mostly those that are aimed towards people of the alternative subculture, people who listen to heavy metal music or wear alternative fashion. I mean, obviously they want to put an end to all hate crimes, but the alternative subculture is their main focus, given that that is how the foundation came into being. And it's something I think is very important. It's something that I think needs more attention bringing to it, because every day we hear about all sorts of hate crimes. We hear about racism, sexism, homophobia, transphobia. We hear of prejudice against disabled people and, all that sort of thing. But you don't hear about these people that are getting physically brutalised just because of the type of music that they listen to. I mean, it's outrageous that it happens, You never, You don't attack someone because they like different films, do you? You don't attack someone because they like different TV shows, do you? You don't attack someone because they like different books or magazines, to you? So why should you attack someone because they like different music to you? I mean, I know music is it's one of those things that brings people together. Why can't it just be that? Why can't it just bring people together? Why does there have to be this separation where people think that it's acceptable to attack someone because they like different music? It's ridiculous. It's stupid. But it happens every day all over the world. People are getting severely hurt by, because of this. I mean, Sophie Lancaster, the girl in question who the charity is named after, her and her boyfriend were walking home minding their own business, and they were set upon by a group of youths just because they didn't like the clothes that she was wearing or the music that they listened to. And they weren't actually listening to music at the time. They were just minding their own business walking home. But these youths set upon them and attacked them. The boyfriend, thankfully, survived, but Sophie Lancaster was killed. She was beaten so badly that she died from her injuries, and all because these youth didn't like the way she dressed or the type of music she listened to, and it's utterly absurd. You know, it shouldn't come to that. You know, what music she listened to had no effect on their lives at all. What clothes she was wearing had no effect on their lives at all. If they didn't like what she was wearing, there were infinite other directions they could have looked in. But they chose to attack them just purely for the fact that they didn't like what they were wearing or the type of music that they listened to. They didn't even know her. She was one of the nicest people you could ever hope to meet. Earlier in the day, she was talking to another group of youths who listened to like chart music, hip-hop music. She was talking to them, having a laugh, having a bit of banter. You know, she wasn't prejudiced against them because they like different music, but this other group of youths, the ones that attacked them, felt so overwhelmingly that they should attack them for their taste in music that they beat this girl to death, and it is unacceptable. And this is the sort of thing Sophie Lancaster Foundation wants to put an end to. They want to stop this from happening again. They don't want another family to have to go through what they went through. And nobody should. They should never have had to go through it. And, you know, it's something I think is really important because it doesn't get the recognition it needs. So if you'd like to find out more about the Sophie Lancaster Foundation, there is a link to their website in the description below. You can pop over there, find out what they're working on at the moment, find out what their main goal is, because, you know, they can explain it better than I can, because I go off on random tangents and rants. And, you know, if you can help them in any way at all, even if it's something as simple as one of these Sophie wristbands, you know, they're like £1 at the store, they've just got a whole bunch of new merchandise in for Download Festival. You know, if you can help them in any way, it'll be a massive help. The smallest amount can make the biggest difference. And the sooner we draw more attention to this, the sooner we can stamp out prejudice, hatred and intolerance everywhere. But I'm going to leave that as it is for the time being. Thank you all very, very much for watching, and I'll see you again soon. Bye bye.